Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and this is a nice, easy job. This is a very high-end house. I come here about every 6 months, actually. The lady keeps it in tip-top shape all the time. They got a couple of dogs and I think a couple of teenagers. And but this time, I'll be doing the steps, which I did last time as well, but the landing up there looks like the little doggies have been using it as a toilet. So I actually gave it a real good spray, pretty good heavy spray with my Stair Mix, which is Omega Citrus with 2,000 parts per million of stabilized CO2, so that should address that. Although there was no odor, I stuck my nose in the carpet, couldn't smell anything, but I could see that it was had left a little bit of yellowish staining there. So hopefully the CO2 will deal with the discoloration, which it usually does. But I gave it a good application with the getting the CO2 in there. I'll be doing the theater room, going in behind there as well. And then I've got another. Oh, there's three daughters, three girls in this place, plus the mother, and the two dogs and hubby. Anyway, otherwise, this carpet is in really good shape. Now, this is either a polyester or a triexta. You can't really tell by looking at them, really. It doesn't really make any difference. They're both a very soft fiber. Don't wear that well. I think the triexta possibly wears a bit better, but I think this house is probably at least 5 years old. But anyway, let's give it a clean. I gave it a really good vacuuming. I used the Kirby on this carpet because one of the things about polyester and triexta in particular is it does it's a little harder to vacuum because it's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's so densely packed that the vacuum sort of sticks in it, as it were. So, but the Kirby works really well, and that's why I actually carry both the Hushstone and the Kirby with me all the time, because some carpets definitely are easier to vacuum with the Kirby than the Hushstone. I mean, they both work very well as far as power goes. They're both actually about similar in power rating, actually, with the Hushstone possibly having a little bit better power, and it certainly has more actual vacuum, but the airflow is about the same or very similar anyway. So anyway, so this will be a very straightforward clean. I'm using, as you can see, the Rubbermaid rayon green stripe polypropylene. That is, the green stripe is polypropylene pad. And when I vacuumed, I only actually saw one possible stain, which I think was likely a doggy pee-pee, but otherwise no stains on this carpet. So it's really getting maintained well. So this will be a pretty quick job, really. And of course, I have not pre-sprayed anything. Don't need to do that. I rarely do. If I do, I would just use usually just the trigger sprayer with the Suspend pre-spray, which is a product that's made by Esteem, and I find it works very well. I use it. It's my main pre-spotting product, actually. It just seems to work well with the Nanomax, which is what is in the tank normally. Seems to give it a little extra kick. This house is actually in a very high-end area of Kelowna. This will be a multi-million-dollar house, I would guess. Well, at least 4 million, maybe more. Hard to say. I'm not sure what the houses in this area are worth, but I do get into a lot of houses that are multi-million-dollar houses. So one of the things that's important is, if that's the market that you are after, is image is important. And so that's why I drive a vehicle with clear signage. It's a new vehicle, or relatively new. It's only 3 years old now. I've always had, almost right from the beginning, always had really nice looking vehicles that, with proper signage on and that sort of thing. My very first van, by the way, I started off with in the first few months, actually, in a 1984 Renault hatchback, but that quickly, the limitation of that was pretty obvious from the get-go, but that's where I began. And then very quickly, within a few months, I was able to buy a 1987 Chevy Astro. That's the original Astro van, kind of a short looking little one. It was in perfect looking appearance, not a mark on it. It was white and very sharp looking van. Maybe one day I'll find a picture and post it. But and then I put some radial TAs on it with some really nice looking shiny polished aluminum mag wheels, and it was a nice van. I really liked that van, but I wore it out. Went up to, I think, around 400,000 miles on it. I had rebuilt the motor almost right away when I bought it, because it unfortunately had a problem with the motor, but that was resolved quickly. I never touched the transmission on it though, interestingly enough. And of course, various things over the years, and in the end, the final kind of thing that kind of made me realize it was probably time to find something different was my wife was driving at the time, and we were, it had developed a kind of a weird noise from the rear end, and she was driving and pulled into a gas station, and I think that's what happened. I think we were just pulling it. She was driving, and she pulled into a gas station, and just as she did so, all of a sudden there's a very loud crack from the back of the van. And what actually occurred is one of the teeth on the in the differential, one of the teeth in the gears, I guess it bound. Anyway, it snapped a tooth off, and so we were able to get it home, driving very slowly down we weren't that far away from the house, and driving home was going clunk, 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 all the way. Got there, and of course that was the end of the diff. And anyway, what I did is I knew a guy that owned a used car lot, and he found a 97, or was it a 96? I think it was a 96 Astro, and all-wheel drive, because that's what they all were by that time, I think. But anyway, so and he took my old van in trade. I didn't get much for it, but anyway, we were able to replace it with another Astro van, and I drove that one for quite a lot of years. Put a lot of miles on that one too. Never touched the transmission, never touched the motor. That one was amazingly reliable. And the irony is that about the same time we had bought my wife a beautiful, and it was white too, and then we also bought my wife about the same time a 97 Astro. Again, it was white. It had been a one owner, had been meticulously cared for, because we got it came with a book that the owner had written down everything he'd done to the vehicle from day one, meticulous oil changes and everything. So, oh man, what a great, cream puff. And but it had all kinds of little dumb things that kept on happening to that thing. It had a gremlin in there, a electrical gremlin, where it was. It ended up discovering it eventually. It was a wire in the wiring harness had rubbed, and I guess, and was grounding out, and it gave all kinds of troubles for a while. And there was other things too, but nothing really that serious. It was just dumb little things. But anyway, we've had that one for quite a few years, and then I guess it was 2000 and let's see, when did we buy that? 2008 or 2009. We bought. I bought her a Toyota Matrix, a new one, and then I bought my Uplander again at the same time, which was new, and and I've had that thing since then. I still have it. It's mostly parked, obviously, but and that was a really good vehicle for the most part. In the last couple of years of its life, it began to have things go wrong, and it was. These front-wheel drive vehicles are just getting ridiculously expensive to do the simplest things, like changing an oil pan gasket, and it was like $1,400 because you got to lift the motor out practically to do it. So, dumb things like that. But anyway, and then 3 years, almost exactly. In effect, this June in 3 years, 3 years ago, I bought my Nissan NV200, and so the lease on that is up in June, so I'll be buying that out. So that'll be it's not that big a deal. I've been leasing it for the last 3 years, and now I got to pay out about $13,000 or so, which is fine. But we wear out our vehicles, so. You got to have something that's going to be reliable. That's one of the most important aspects, is that you've got to be able to, when you've got work booked and you're going out and making $1,000 or $1,500 in a day, which is typically where I'm at usually. I got to be able to know that when I hop into my vehicle at the beginning of the day and turn the key, it's going to start. So. Reliable vehicle and a nice looking vehicle is important, and that's why everything about the way we operate the business, with the way the equipment looks, and myself, I'm in a uniform with the company logo on it and all that kind of stuff. This is all important as far as the type of clientele that we're focused on. High-end, more or less kind of people that are in that category are not going to be impressed if you don't look professional. It's just the way it is. And if you want that kind of clientele, you need to, in every respect, be creating the right image, is what I'm trying to say. So that's all part of what we do anyway. It's not really that important, I guess, if you're doing a lot of rental properties or work for property management companies. That probably doesn't matter so much, but it does matter for us anyway. I'll show you the view in a sec. And this is, of course, a pool right here. Haven't quite opened it up for the summer yet. and it'll be downtown Kelowna over there, and then the bridge. Yeah, this is Upper Mission, we call this area here. So you can see this is going along just very nicely, and the carpet's not really visibly soiled, so that's great. She just wants to have it cleaned. She actually is not even here. She let me in and said, clean out all the carpet, which is fine. I will do that. Okay, we're gonna head over to the theater room. Oh, I just dropped my pad. All right. You know, as I was talking about the vehicles, I was just thinking about, I was actually in the, at the local carpet cleaning supply store. Safety Express, actually, is what they call it. I was talking to the guys there, and the mechanic there had just actually finished installing a slide-in truck mount into a it was Chevy Express, I guess, and he was showing this thing to me, and my goodness me, it was a rust heap. I mean, the rocker panels were all rusted out. The interior of the vehicle had the sort of rubbery floor down there, and he was showing me, he lifts it up, and underneath it was all kinds of, like, I guess, fiber, carpet fibers or something. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was filthy, and the thing just literally, it stunk in there. And they were putting they just finished installing a brand new truck mount, a Sapphire Scientific. I'm not sure which one it was, but he told me what it was. I don't remember. But anyway, it's just, wow. I think it was like $40,000 unit. Now, of course, it was a slide-in, so it would, it wasn't like a clutch drive type, so it wasn't as critical as far as, being stuck in there, as it were, but still, and that's the thing, And you know, the guys with the truck mounts, their vehicles wear out even faster, of course, because they got the extra weight. And then, particularly if you've got a CDS type, when you're cleaning, you're running that vehicle all the time, and so all the running gear in a vehicle like that, it just gets really stressed, and not even, you know, and then of course there's all the water leaking everywhere all the time, which rusts everything out. You know, like a decent, finding a decent looking truck mount in 5 years is not quite so easy. It's just really, really, really hard on them. So, you know, in my Uplander, it's you know, 15 years old or so, and you know, it's still really in good shape. Just on the exterior, I could see a little bit of a surface rust appearing on one corner, but the inside is fine. You know, it's the using the low moisture method is a lot easier on your vehicle. Plus, you're carrying way less weight anyway. So, anyway, those are all things to bear in mind, I guess. It's just one of the other reasons why I have zero interest in a truck mount. I mean, I've been there, done that. Way too hard work, too, pushing that wand around, or even just pulling the hoses in and out. If you're, you know, wanting to use an RX-20 or what's the other one called? Our rotary dry master, I guess. Anyway, this is much more efficient way to go, I think. So, I guess obviously I'm pretty much done. We're going to go over to the beginning in a sec. And then we'll take a look and see what the pad looks like. I don't think it's very dirty, because I don't think this carpet is getting very dirty. All right, we'll have to I folded it over a bit there, so we'll have to remount that, and then I'll move over to the door. There we go. We'll just go over to the door. Okay, let's have a look at the pad. Not very much dirt at all, which is what I expected. Again, she's really taking care of this place. Okay, so I will go and do the steps, and then I've got to vacuum everything, and then I'll be done. So I'll let you go. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.